What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you informed on what's going on in the space. But how's it going today? It is Thursday. Man, this week's just flying on by so fast. But we got lots going on today. We had an amazing show this morning with Dr. J and his Bitcoin Thursdays, just bringing hope back to the people out there, because we just there's so many people out there just have no more hope anymore. They don't have the American dream where they're going to own a house one day. He talked about back in his day, when he was out by 22, 25 or 20, he was like time was different back then. For my generation, I lived at my house till 25, and then there's so many people just still living with their parents. It's because there's no more hope anymore. They don't see the point of working hard because they won't be able to afford a house anymore on their own. They won't be able to afford a family. So there's just no hope in this generation's eyes right now. But Bitcoin does give us that hope. So I would really recommend you listen to the Dr. J show this morning. It was really great. And then what else is going on today? We're covering my show now. And then afterwards, we have a crypto class on the Bitcoin charts. We're going to go over the rainbow charts, the M2 money supply. Steve Blanco from our Nashville club is going to be hosting that class. And also, you definitely want to stick around if you're in Nashville, because it looks like they're having their Brentwood Bitcoin and Barbecue meetup. So this is going to take place after our crypto class today. It's going to be from 4 to 6. There'll be Bitcoin 101. So come on down. It's going to be great. And then for those of you new into the crypto space and members of our crypto club, you may want to be here in Sarasota or watch live on Zoom for our new member orientation. So this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, we're going to be just hosting, talking about Bitcoin, why you need it. We're going to show you how to utilize our website to gain access to all of our educational content and out there, and just we'll get you set up and going forward. So lots of stuff happening this week, and not just here in Sarasota or Nashville. We even want to give a shout out to Ed Albert, our operator in Massachusetts. He is running for councilman. Yes, Bitcoin Ben. So proud of our club leader, Ed Albert, up in Massachusetts. He walks the walk, running for city council in his local town. So if you're in Leominster, Massachusetts, definitely vote for Ed. We have our preliminary, let me see if I go to that email. Each of our newsletters here gets sent out Tuesdays and Thursdays for class reminders. But no, so be sure if you're in Leominster, Massachusetts, go support Ed Albert. The voting for the election is on September 16th. So make your vote count, guys. And then, so that's our Nashville club, our Massachusetts club. We even have who would I have next? We have our Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club Las Vegas. So we have clubs all over, and we plan on opening at least 30 within the next 2 years. So they are open, they are running. And hey, is Ken Bozak, bro Ken, he's in a fight going on? Oh yeah, he's been training hard, but the team there is doing great interviews. I think they have a show, Bitcoin Monday, so definitely follow them on Twitter. And any one of our Bitcoin Ben crypto clubs out there, even our Dallas club, follow all of our social media. So that way you can stay in tune and what's going on in the space. But what is going on with crypto? Which altcoins is I know my title is very clickbaity. It's oh, check out these altcoins. What's going on? Well, we see that, what is it if you look at the crypto bubbles, 2 tokens are really pumping, Pyth and CRO. We know from CRO, the Trump deal they made, really taking up that supply, pumped CRO 60%, but Pyth is pumping. I'm not sure why Chainlink isn't, because Pyth and Link are 2 cryptocurrencies that yesterday we talked about which ones are going to be going on chain with the GDP and the government. And yeah, it turns out they chose Chainlink and Pyth. So we finally got information on that. So we'll go over this article in a little bit. Also, what's happening right now is Bitcoin conference in Asia is happening, and they had an amazing light show going on over Hong Kong. Giant Bitcoin and drones out there, so that was pretty sick. And then another just quick little news tidbit, we had Jack Mallers on Bloomberg. I think this was this morning. He was saying that Bitcoin is a $500 trillion use case right now. It's in the works, and that's still 222x. So there is still time to just get some Bitcoin, hodl it, but I didn't cover this one article that I saw pop up. It's what's the percentage of a person actually owning one full Bitcoin out there? It's 0.01%. That's how many people in the entire world can hold one whole Bitcoin now. So if you can get your hands on one and hodl it, you are basically setting up your family for a life. So if you need help get acquiring Bitcoin, learning about Bitcoin, join the crypto club. We offer a lot of programs to help you out to get you started. And if you need to check those out, go to bitcoinben.io. But let's dive into the news right now, read these news articles to keep you informed on what's happening. And we're going to start off with the U.S. government taps Chainlink Pyth to publish its economic data on chain, because everything is going on chain right now. So the U.S. government announced on Tuesday that it is publishing economic data on-chain to boost transparency for government spending. Now, the US government has tapped Chainlink and Pyth, two blockchain oracle providers, to publish economic data on-chain. Now, Pyth was selected by the Department of Commerce to be a publisher of the gross domestic product data, the total economic output in a year, and that's according to an announcement on Thursday, which happened today. And then Chainlink was selected to provide data feeds from Bureau of Economic Analysis. So these feeds include real gross domestic product, personal consumption expenditures, price index, and real final sales to private domestic purchasers, the company said. Now, publishing government data on-chain is part of the Trump administration's plan to make government spending more transparent in a bid to improve accountability. Now, here is that tweet from Pyth Network. The U.S. Department of Commerce has selected Pyth Network to verify its distributed economic data on-chain. Now, today's announcement by Howard Lutnick and real Donald Trump marks a landmark step for adoption of decentralization and validates Pyth's role as a trusted data source. I guess this was the letter they got. Oh no, this looks AI generated, but it probably looks similar to that when they got an email. But yeah, so if you're wondering why Pyth was like pumping over here, it's like, why is it going up 59%? Like, why didn't I get that coin? It's because we finally got word that this was the government. So it was all speculation yesterday when we were trying to figure out, it's like, which chain are they going to use? What blockchain? Because once we got that word, we knew that coin was going to pump up like no other. So this is people buying the news and getting in on some Pyth. So how much further can it go? I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know where the future is going to go out there. I just like following the news out there. But with a 60% increase, like where was it at originally? So it was at 11 cents right there, and now it's at, what is that? What's its price? 18 cents. So that is a nice little chunk right there. How much higher can it go? I do not know. Let's see the year chart. So its all-time was 57%. So who knows? Maybe it can catch up, and maybe there's still another 2x, 3x in its forecast. But again, speculation. I don't know what's going to truly happen in the future. I'm just seeing what's happening right now. But that is our first news article about basically just still going on chain. But it looks like another country out there, I'm not sure if I covered this yesterday, but it looks like the Philippine lawmaker is to propose putting government budget on the blockchain as well. Did they say which one? Let's find out. Philippine Senator Bam Aquino plans to file a bill to put the country's national budget on a blockchain for greater transparency and accountability. So the Philippine Senator Bam Aquino announced his intentions to propose a bill that would lead the country to a national budget being saved on a blockchain. Now, according to a Facebook post by a local news publication, Business World, Aquino plans to file the bill in the next couple of weeks. Now, the measures would integrate the government's budget and transactions into a blockchain platform for better transparency, and that is why they're doing it. Like when you put something on the blockchain, it's transparent and it's immutable. Usually it's immutable, depending on the chain they choose, but it means nothing can be tampered with. It's out in the open, it's public, so there's no more hidden secrets out there. So that's why we're going on chain. But in a dedicated Facebook post, Aquino recounted that he talked about how technology can strengthen accountability and governance. During the Manila Tech Summit in 2025, he also said that he spoke about blockchain technology specifically. He said, I also talked about innovations like blockchain-based budgeting to make every peso transparent and accountable. By using blockchain for our budget, we can ensure people know where every peso goes. Now, here's a local report from Aquino's statement by a local TV news channel, Bilio Onario. So what is blockchain? It's a digital ledger stored across many computers at once. It records transactions in blocks linked by a chain and cannot be erased or altered once recorded. And this ensures security, transparency, and trust without relying on one central authority out there. Now, the Philippines' growing blockchain adoption. This is not the first such initiative in the Philippines. At the end of July, the Philippine government launched a blockchain-based document validation system on Polygon. Despite the network suffering a partial outage on the same day, the developments followed the local nonprofit Blockchain Council of the Philippines, which partnered with the Department of Information and Communications Technology to lead the local blockchain adoption. Now, through a state partnership in 2023 and also in an interview with Cointelegraph held that summer, BCP founder Donald Lim claimed that the Philippines was likely to adopt blockchain. He said, we feel strongly that we can be the blockchain capital of Asia. Now, which blockchain are you using? I still want to know that. Blockchain adoption by governments keep growing out there, as we're seeing with the US, now with the Philippines. I know there was another country the other day. But government adoption of blockchain, primarily aimed at ensuring transparency by providing always available and immutable records, is gaining traction. Earlier this month, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said the Department of Commerce will begin publishing economic statistics, including gross domestic product data on chain, and we just found out that's going to be on Pyth and Chainlink. Now, the initiative follows past U.S. state initiatives, such as New Jersey's country tokenizing $240 billion worth of property deeds, or a New York Assembly member proposing to evaluate how blockchain could help protect voter records and election results. Now, a similar initiative to that in New York was also seen in India, where the administration of a town digitized all land records dating back to the 1950s and then stored them on Avalanche's blockchain. Avalanche is a really popular one because also the California DMV recorded at least like 20,000 or like all their car title deeds on the Avalanche blockchain as well. But another recent example is Vietnam's launch on the national blockchain platform designed to verify digital transactions and records across various sectors last month. That was the article I covered yesterday. It was Vietnam, so it wasn't the Philippines. But again, guys, like everyone is going on chain. They're tokenizing it. Just again, it's for security purposes. It makes it transparent and gives faith and hope back to the public's eyes. So that's like one just perk behind putting everything on chain. This next article talks about how it can actually save on CO2 emissions out there. So that's right. So blockchain tokenization prevents 394 million tons of CO2 in a $32 billion ESG effort. So the record ESG-aligned tokenized efforts will prevent emissions that are about 105 times the yearly CO2 emissions of Iceland. So there's always that big misconception with crypto, Bitcoin mining. Oh, it's bad for the environment. It takes too much energy. It's like those claims are just blatantly wrong because Bitcoin mining can also help the electrical grid. Like when you need a big source of energy, let's just shut off those miners. Boom, all this energy goes over there. And then now also it is apparently taking away some CO2 emissions, but let's find out how that's going to actually play out. So wealth tokenization platform Arx Veritas and tokenization infrastructure from Bluebird are using blockchain technology to prevent nearly 400 million tons of CO2 emissions, marking a record for the digital asset tokenization industry. Now, the two firms have tokenized $32 billion worth of emission reduction assets on Bluebird's Red Belly network, aiming to set a new standard for the financing and tracking of sustainable efforts. Now, the tokenized assets include capped oil wells and coal mines, representing over 394 million tons of prevented CO2 emissions, marking the largest tokenization effort aligned with the environmental, social, and governance framework. Now, the 394 million tons of prevented CO2 emissions are attributed to two sources: the extraction, processing, shipping, and burning of coal that would have been used, along with the pollutants prevented by capping abandoned oil wells. Now, the prevented emissions are the equivalent of almost 395 million round-trip flights from New York to London, or 986 billion miles driven by an average passenger car, or 105 times the yearly CO2 emissions of Iceland. Now, Bluebird is seeing strong institutional demand for the tokenization of ESG alignment assets, with more than $500 million worth of transactions under negotiations and major institutions purchase nearing completion. Now, the firm wrote in a Thursday announcement shared with Cointelegraph that real-world assets or tokenization refers to the financial and other tangible assets minted on the immutable blockchain ledger, and it's introducing benefits such as shared ownership, increased investors, and accessibility, and 24/7 liquidity. And who's texting me? Yeah, that's my dad. Now, eras of real-world projects such as decommissioning coal mines or capping oil wells that measurably prevent the release of CO2 and greenhouse gases. Now, trillions of dollars in assets will move on chain amid institutional shift, said Bluebird CEO. The growing institutional demand for tokenized assets may bring trillions of dollars to the blockchain in the coming years, said Corey Billington, the co-founder and CEO of Bluebird, adding that in coming years, we're going to see trillions of dollars in assets move on chain as institutions chase new liquidity, efficiency, and global access. And yeah, just saying that, for the trillions kind of makes sense when we see Jack Muller saying that $500 trillion can still flow into Bitcoin. It's like, where's this capital going? There's many reasons for how that can play out. So it does make sense that, we are still early and there's still so much growth to happen. But Bluebird already has more than $18 billion in active deals lined up, and we're just getting started, said Billington, adding that the shift toward tokenization is inevitable. Now, Bluebird aims to tokenize an additional $18 billion worth of assets by 2026 to reinforce its position in the real-world assets industry. Now, we're looking at roughly 230 million tons of CO2 prevented emissions, equivalent to that additional $18 billion pipeline, said the CEO, adding that this is also spans out to asset classes such as commodities, financial instruments, and infrastructure assets. Now, combined with its existing $32 billion in tokenized eras, the estimated total environment impact will equal 600 million tons of prevented CO2s and emissions, according to the Bluebird's estimate. So just by tokenizing everything, putting everything on chain, we are saving, again, CO2 emissions. We don't have to use gas, oil, send data over there, do whatever it takes to cause these emissions to go out. So this is a way where it does help prevent it. So if you hear someone saying it's bad, Bitcoin, crypto is bad for the environment, just go, I heard an article out there saying that it's actually bad. It's actually saving and reducing CO2 emissions. So here's our news source from that. Now, outside of tokenization news out there, because we covered that a lot yesterday, let's talk about the Bitcoin Asia conference that just took off yesterday. So if you want to watch it live, go to Bitcoin Magazine on YouTube. You already have day 1 out there, and day 2, I think, kicks off in just a little bit. Let's take a look at what's been going on so far there. So in its second Bitcoin Asian conference, experts said that Hong Kong could become a hub for shaping the global digital asset regulatory landscape. Now, why is that popping up? But there we go. So here's one shot of the conference right now, the hall, people sitting in. I wonder who they're listening to. Who knows? But Bitcoin Asia kicked off in Hong Kong on Thursday as Hong Kong strives to balance its goal of becoming a crypto hub, while also pushing forward a regulatory regime to mitigate financial risks. Now, in its second edition, the conference featured experts who said that Hong Kong could become a hub for shaping the global digital asset regulatory landscape. Now, 2 points were brought up: upping asset treasury holding for a broader ecosystem for cryptocurrency and global regulatory leadership to coordinate and shape the crypto landscape. Now, the Bitcoin Asian conference taking place in Hong Kong on August 28th and the 29th features U.S. President Donald Trump's son Eric as a headline speaker and has issued more than 17,000 tickets on Thursday, almost 3 times last year's attendance of 6,000 people, according to organizers. Now, since Donald Trump's son Eric is speaking there has been some stuff going on right there, which we'll cover, because it looks like some people are pulling out because of Trump speaking there. So we'll cover that article right after this one. But Abel Sao, head of APAC and managing director of BitGo, said that he believes digital asset treasuries mark the start of integrating traditional finance with crypto. Now, these companies will move beyond accumulating tokens towards actively fostering a healthy ecosystem, helping institutions see the true potential of crypto and creating a more sustainable market, Sal said, and everybody going for the ways of trying to accumulate more tokens in their treasury company. And we are seeing that so many companies every day are just adding more, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum. I saw some Solana ones out there. Does someone even do a Dogecoin one? Maybe, but it's getting crazy out there. But Hong Kong could play a key role in the global convergence in terms of digital asset regulations, said Clarence Shen, a Securities and Futures Commission manager responsible for fintech policy formulation, making him the only speaker from the city's government to attend the event. Now, Hong Kong, the SFC in particular, is playing a key role in this change. Shen said that we have been actively taking part in many different multilateral organizations and bilateral communications with different regulators. Now, what Hong Kong and the SFC are trying to do is be an active player, an active writer of the global rulebook in global regulations, rather than just merely taking part in it. Now, let's see, we see a photo here. They keep throwing photos here at the conference going on. Looks like you got some Bitcoin miners showing up. This is Bitmain's Bitcoin mining machine on display at the conference. Now, Eric Chi Hong, the FFC's executive director, and the Hong Kong lawmaker Johnny Nikichi, 2 of the main speakers at Bitcoin Asia listed months ago, pulled out of the conference. Now, the government's low-key participation in Bitcoin Asia came at a time when the city was pushing forward with a stablecoin regulatory regime that forbade firms from promoting or issuing the crypto tokens without a license. Now, Hong Kong is seeking to reconcile its ambitions as a virtual asset hub with the necessity of minimizing financial risks, and the stablecoin ordinance, which took effect on August 1st, enforces stringent requirements related to reserve management, client identification, and anti-money laundering tactics, sapping the initial enthusiasm for the regulation. Now, here's another shot at the Bitcoin conference, looking at a crypto ATM displayed at Bitcoin Asia. Who is that? Coin Hero. So that's popping up there. Just Crypto ATMs, guys, they're not the best way to buy cryptocurrency, just putting that out there. Usually they come with high fees, way higher than the exchanges will do. Or, hey, if you have a friend to buy it from you, just peer-to-peer, spot-on price right there. But no, crypto ATMs are usually the worst place to buy crypto just because it's like, I don't know, usually they used to be like 15 to 18%. Now I'm seeing some as high as like 30% out there. So if you can avoid using a crypto ATM machine, I would recommend that. Just a little tip out there. Go the other way. But let's continue on. So Simon Gurevich, the CEO of MetaPlanet, the only titled sponsor for the conference, said that the conference is an extraordinary opportunity to connect with builders and entrepreneurs across the region. Now, MetaPlanet is kind of known as the Asian strategy because they followed Michael Saylor's company, like in acquiring Bitcoin as Bitcoin Treasury. They used to be a hotel company. Now they're a Bitcoin Treasury company. And yeah, they have been stacking up quite a lot of Bitcoin. Now, Asia really has an opportunity to catch up with the innovation that is taking place in the US. Gurevich said that over the next few days, more people will learn about Bitcoin and hopefully make the decision to dip their toes in it. The lead that the US has really taken is providing an opportunity for other countries to follow suit. So I think it's really exciting time, said Gurevich. And yeah, the US really took the lead. Like once we had Trump come in and then we started getting all these rules actually going in place, he put a nice team in going forward. Then we got the Genius Act, we're working on the Clarity Act. Just regulations and rules that started popping in and everyone's like going, oh, we got to jump on board too. So this is still definitely a great opportunity for the rest of the world just to jump on in now. But that's just a little bit from what's going on at the Bitcoin conference. I have a couple Twitter posts. I mean, see a little bit more about it. But let's talk about which people did not attend the Bitcoin conference because Eric Trump was speaking there. So here, let's see what actually took place. So Hong Kong's Bitcoin conference has become a test of politics and optics rather than just a meeting for crypto fans. So some officials have dropped out after speaker confirmations. So according to reports, 2 local figures quietly pulled out of a Bitcoin Asia 2025 after Eric Trump, son of US President Donald Trump, was listed as a speaker. Now, it was Eric Lip-Chi Hong of the Securities and Futures Commission and lawmaker Johnny Ng Kichong withdrew from the event lineup, which runs on August 20th and 29th. So we just heard in the article that they were speaking, but I guess they just pulled out. But organizers declined to say if the changes were forced, but sources told that the South China Morning Post that officials were urged to skip the conference if Eric Trump appeared. Now, here is that post from Bloomberg. A Hong Kong official and lawmaker have withdrawn from a Bitcoin Asia conference in the city following advice not to engage with Eric Trump, son of President Donald Trump, the South China Morning Post reported. Now, a delicate balance between trade and appearance. Hong Kong leaders are juggling big goals. The city wants foreign crypto firms and is promoting rules meant to attract them. And at the same time, ties between the US and China are strained. Tariffs on Hong Kong exports are at 145%, and a figure that some officials see as a reminder to be cautious about public associations. Now, Law Si Kai, an advisor to Beijing-linked think tank, said that the withdrawals avoid any sense of taking sides with Washington during a sensitive time. Now, the U.S. connections draw attention. Eric Trump is scheduled for 2 sessions titled All In on Bitcoin and Bitcoin Takes Over the World. He co-founded the American Bitcoin and has links to World Liberty Finance, according to public filings and post coverage out there. Now, with the U.S. President Donald Trump back in the White House and pushing crypto-friendly rules, the family's moves are being watched more closely than ever. Now, some attendees say his name will still draw crowds. Others worry it will keep the focus off technology. Now, local voices push back on the political framing. Joshua Chu of the Hong Kong Web3 Association told Reuters that the walkout looked like a personal choice, not a political purge. He argued that Eric Trump's presence underlines Hong Kong's role in crypto. Still, several people at the scene said the political considerations were unavoidable. The event, now in its 2nd edition this year, was meant to highlight the panels on tokenization and funding, but the headlines have shifted. Now, how has policy fit into the picture? Well, Hong Kong recently rolled out a revised digital assets policy and a stablecoin ordinance on August 1st as part of a push to make the city friendlier to virtual assets. Now, the push is ongoing. Organizers say the conference will continue with some sessions kept intact and others quietly just reshuffled around. Now, the meeting will likely show how far officials are willing to separate tech outreach from large state tensions. So, that's pretty interesting right there. I guess, was it a personal choice, political choice? I don't know. Could be personal. That's what people are saying, like they said in this article. But that is what's going on at the Bitcoin conference on the inside news. Now let's actually see what's actually taking place. Like, let's see. I have a couple X posts or Twitter posts out there. So let's see. Justin. So at the conference, we just saw Eric Trump was there. But it looks like they said that the backed American Bitcoin to start soon trading on the NASDAQ routers. So Bitcoin is taking over Wall Street. So you'll be able to soon be seeing the American Bitcoin company on the NASDAQ. So that was announced over the conference. Also, Justin Strive CEO Matt Cole says that they plan to buy $700 million worth of Bitcoin. Nothing stopping this train. And here he's saying,
reverse merge with ASST is live right now. The vote closes September 9th, and it's super exciting. And then we'll be buying over $700 million of Bitcoin.
700 million. Oh my gosh, that is so big. Okay, everyone, go vote.
Is it big? It's a large number for the average Joe out there, but it's still big in the reference of like that's still less Bitcoin being taken away from you, because if these guys are buying it and holding it, that's less of a Bitcoin you can actually own, because there's only 21 million out there. That's it. It's a hard cap. There's going to be no more Bitcoin. You can break apart a Bitcoin to 100 of a millionth of a fraction, so you can own Satoshis, but it's just going to be getting harder and harder to hold one Bitcoin. Like I said, I think for the amount of people out there who can hold one whole Bitcoin is only at 0.01% of the global population. So guys, start stacking those sats. But what else is going on out there? Looks like former Coinbase CTO Balaji Srinivasan says that when Bitcoin wins, real estate falls in real terms. People stop using houses as an investment, and then they invest in Bitcoin. Now, instead of selling your house because you can't sell it and you have equity in it, why not take advantage of that? Pull the equity out and buy Bitcoin. Keep both of the assets. That way you have two assets you can utilize out there. And in some of our programs we have at the Bitcoin Bank Crypto Club, we have a home to hodl program. So definitely take a look at that. If you need more info, give us a text at this number scrolling down beneath us, 941413692, and we can probably lead you in the right direction. And then I think I have one more post. Let's see. BitPlanet launches Korea's first global institution as a Bitcoin treasury company, and they plan to buy $40 million worth of Bitcoin. So guys, like more treasury companies are popping up out there. And again, they're going to be stacking Bitcoin like no other. So again, we still have here in the US, we have an executive order for the Bitcoin strategic reserve out there. We're still acquiring Bitcoin through like criminal confiscations out there and still finding ways to acquire more Bitcoin. And I believe Cynthia Loomis has a plan for us to be able to acquire at least, 1 million, 4 million Bitcoin, and like how we'll do in the next 10 years. So like, we have plans in place. So guys, Bitcoin is scarce. I don't know how to show you this, or I don't know. Should I tell you that Bitcoin's scarce, or more that the US dollar is using value? So why would you want to save the dollar when its purchasing power keeps going down versus Bitcoin going up? So yeah, just something to think about. But let's take a quick commercial break right now, and then we'll be back with some more altcoin news. I think we have CRO news, Litecoin news, Dogecoin news, and then one scam article that's going on right now. So we'll be right back after these messages.
In 2008, $7 trillion in home equity disappeared overnight. Millions trusted that their homes would keep them safe. They would be wrong. It takes a lifetime to build wealth, but only a single storm to lose it all. A storm is coming, and only those who prepare will survive. Home to HODL is a brand new program brought to you exclusively by the Bitcoin Bank Crypto Club. It is your ark, your lifeline to safe harbor. Transfer your valuable equity from your home into the soundest money in human history, Bitcoin. During the last financial crisis, homes lost 30% of their value on average, and almost all of the homeowner's equity. Now contrast that to Bitcoin over the past 4 years. It has appreciated over 60% every single year. Home to HODL is your Noah's Ark, built for financial survival and growth. Get your home equity transferred into Bitcoin before the storm strikes. We have partnered with leading financial institutions to help you unlock the full power of your home equity at maximum loan to value and the best rates available. If you already have a great low interest home loan, keep it. Simply unlock your trapped wealth in a second position loan. And with our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program, we buy bulk Bitcoin privately and store it in your custody where it belongs. Not with the exchanges, not with the government, and certainly not with the banks that need bailouts themselves. Your equity, your Bitcoin, your keys. I'm Dr. Jay Bose, CEO with Bitcoin Bend Crypto Club. We are your lighthouse to guiding you away from the stormy seas and onto solid ground. Because preserving wealth is not just about survival, it's about protecting your future, your family, your legacy. Home to HODL is a big, bold, and beautiful way to secure your financial future today. Please call us or text us at 941-413-6920 and we will get you started on our exclusive members-only Home to HODL program. The system is fragile. Bitcoin is not.
And we are back, guys. And yes, preserve your wealth. That is, but if you already have wealth, put it in a Bitcoin because your dollar value is just going down over time. Come on, we say it all the time with just like, we don't have a dollar menu in fast food restaurants anymore. Like I used to live off those. Let me go get a double cheeseburger for $1. Now it costs $3. That's just showing you the dollar went down 3 times in value because of that since just growing up or even in high school. No, this is even college. Like it's been at a fast pace ever since 2020. We all know what took place there. And they started printing up money like no other, and then we had some more wars take place too, more money printing, and then there was stuff in the Russia-Ukraine area, more money printing. So we're just seeing our dollar value just keep going. They can print as much money as they want, which is why the value keeps going down. But with Bitcoin, there is only 21 million. So that's why we see, like in a lot of charts out there, that the Bitcoin value just keeps going up while the dollar one keeps going down. So when you're just saving the dollar value, like you think it's just a flat line, but in reality, it's going down because it's losing its purchasing power. So yeah, so definitely join our club, take advantage of any of our programs because we can help you preserve your wealth. Now let's continue on with the news. What else is going on? Let's talk about CRO is still flying high to a 3-year high at 38 cents right now. And so Bitcoin's gradual price recovery that started earlier this week has taken the asset to just over $113,000 for the first time since Monday's crash. Was that their market cap or the total volumes coming in? Probably volumes. But a few altcoins have posted big gains over the last 24 hours. But the momentum clearly belongs to the native token out there. Now, Bitcoin is above 113,000, so nice. We're going down. We're going back up, so hopefully a lot of people aren't getting too shaken up when we touch 109. But the primary cryptocurrency had an eventful end to the previous business week. It had dropped below $112,000 in anticipation of Jerome Powell's speech, which was somewhat promising in terms of upcoming rate cuts. And then this sent the asset flying and Bitcoin exploded over $5,000 in just minutes when Jerome Powell said that. However, that was just a short-lived and Bitcoin returned down to 115, 112 right now during the weekend. Now, the landscape took a turn for the worse on Sunday evening when the cryptocurrency plunged by $4,000 and slipped to $111,000. Although it tried to recover some ground on Monday, it quickly started to lose value again. But the culmination came on Tuesday when Bitcoin slipped below the $109,000 for the first time in approximately 7 weeks. And the bulls finally stepped back in at this point and pushed the asset north of 110. We're at 113 now, and we could still be climbing back up to 115. But its market cap has risen to over $2.2 trillion, while the dominance over its alts well above 56. And I think I heard a fact out there, like when an asset has reached over $2 trillion, it really will not drop beneath that again. I forgot where I heard that, but I would have to probably look that up again. But CRO keeps on flying. So CRO, which is the native token for crypto.com, its price has been on a massive roll since Monday when the exchange behind it and Trump Media Group announced a groundbreaking partnership in 2 parts that will ultimately see the POTUS-related company accumulate roughly 20% of the token supply. Now, CRO reacted with an immediate surge from 15 cents to 22 cents, but it only kept pumping. In the following days, the culmination so far came earlier today with a surge of 38 cents, the highest level since April 2022. Now, other notable gainers over the last 24 hours include Mint, Pi, and Sol, and ETH, BNB, DAW, Cherex, ADA, and Sui are also in the green right now. Are they? Let's go to the actual live Bitcoin charts right now. We got CRO. Do I see SUI at all? Well, so is up 2%. Links 3.2. Where's Ethereum at? It's like one of those like lower ones. Dodge is up 0.9. So, well, they're in the little bits of the green. But no, that was the end of that article. But yeah, some altcoins are seeing rolls out. Some people are feeling that alt season is happening right now. So if you're sitting on coin, maybe start keeping an eye on it. Pay attention to the news out there. See if anything could trigger a nice little reaction there for you. But no, so CRO is still pumping. How high can it go? I want to keep saying it. I don't know, guys. So if you're trying to ask me for, what coin should I go into? It's like, I'm not going to tell you what to go. I'll tell you like, I see a couple of news articles out there looking very bullish out there. But if I saw some news that was like bearish, it's like, they just did this. I think that's going to be a negative downside. But I'm never going to tell you where it's going to go because I don't know. I'm going off market news and just seeing where and making my assumption on there. So yeah, just giving you that. But let's move on to our next altcoin news for Litecoin. I love Litecoin. I'm still a holder of this token out there, and I love when there's actually news coming out from it. But Litecoin's blockchain maturity is on the rise. Now, what this means for LTC. So bearish sentiment continues to cloud the broader crypto market, and Litecoin appears to have taken a notable hit, forcing its price to retest key support levels. However, the warning price performance has failed to hinder Litecoin's blockchain development, which is demonstrating a bullish trend. So a shift in Litecoin's blockchain maturity, even though its price has fallen sharply in the past few days, the Litecoin blockchain is persistently proving its resilience. Joao Whitson, a verified author at the Bitcoin, Chief Executive Officer of Alpha, let me just restart that. Phone was ringing. That was my assistant. A verified author and chief executive officer of the Fractal has shared a recent analysis that shows that LTC market is gearing up for a major shift. So according to the on-chain expert, Litecoin is about to shine as on-chain data reveals a steady rise in the blockchain maturity. Now, this surge maturity reflects LTC's ability to maintain relevance in an increasingly competitive crypto landscape. It also points to a shifting role as a dependable medium of exchange. Specifically, the network maturity metric is a composite index that monitors a blockchain network stage of development. The metric shows that it is in market age and has increased by over 20% and the address activity ratio by about 25%. So in addition, wealth distribution via inverse Gini has grown by 25% and long-term holder participation has risen by 20% as well. And hash rate stability has increased by 10%. The increase in these areas points to a more mature, stable, and fairly distributed network with robust long-term stability. Now here is the Litecoin network maturity chart, just continuously going up over the years. Now, Weston has also highlighted several other key metrics to watch out for as the market slowly recovers from its recent bearish trend. Now, the first metric is the true market mean, which is situated at the $88 price mark. As seen in the chart, the $88 level is currently acting as a strong support against price pullbacks. But in the meantime, the breakout zone is located above the 123 level. Now, following the breakout, the experts believe that Litecoin's price will surge to $183, so that'd be nice if it does that, which represents the alpha price historically, and LTC has experienced a wide range that it targets for the alpha price. Now, looking at the cumulative value days destroyed, the metric is showing a bullish scenario for LTC, where the asset could rally to $900 peak. However, if on-chain momentum picks up speed, it might reach $1,000. Could we do that? That'd be nice. Like I think Litecoin's all-time high was like $500, but that was like during the 2017 bull run. During 2020, I think we only touched like 300. But offering his final take, Watson noted that the long accumulation periods are intended to deter even the most tenacious investors. Nonetheless, as historic demonstrates, LTC eventually breaks out when least expected. Now, LTC's exchange reserves surging. While Litecoin's upside momentum has slowed down, Weston has highlighted a notable trend among investors, according to the expert investors on crypto exchanges appearing to be positioning for a bounce. Now, this trend often reflects investors' readiness to trade or sell as coins flow into centralized exchanges, and these investors have acquired substantial amounts of LTC in anticipation of a future spike in public interest. Now, I always believe that LTC will have its moment to shine. It might not be this cycle around, but I feel it's going to shine when Bitcoin is really, really hard to get. Because Litecoin, I see it as the digital silver. Some people believe Ethereum is that digital silver because we view Bitcoin as digital gold. But Ethereum has smart contract capabilities use, and it's a platform you want to build on. So that's why I consider it the steel. We used steel when the steel industry came around to build these large, strong buildings out there, and that's what Ethereum's for. But Litecoin was literally a fork off Bitcoin's chain, just to be its little brother. It's 1/4 its ratio. Bitcoin's max supply is 21 million. Litecoin's is 84 million. The amounts of mined a block is average time on Bitcoin's blockchain is 10 minutes, while Litecoin's is 2.5 minutes. So it's 1/4 its ratio. And Litecoin is also like a kind of a little tester out blockchain for Bitcoin. So like you want something done to happen on Bitcoin's blockchain, they'll test on Litecoin first, and then they can move it on over there. And Litecoin has some other perks to it too. They, like a couple of years ago, they released their Mimblewimble technology in order to be able to make your wallets more privatized. Because the biggest thing with crypto, when you send somebody crypto, they know your public address and they view all your transactions on there and see what you got. But, well, they can't see when their wallet, but see what associated with that wallet, public address. But with Mimblewimble, it hides that. So you can send someone crypto and it will still hide your wallet information out there, but still sending the crypto. So that was a cool technology. I would hope to see that come to Bitcoin, or they can probably utilize it with the Segwit and Lightning Network channels. But yeah, so there's a lot of good things coming with the Litecoin still. So I would still hold on to it. Again, we might not, it could have a nice little pump this bull run, but I feel like it will really, really shine once like people are getting it really, really hard to find Bitcoin. They go, oh, let me go to Litecoin. Now, let's see. Here's a little tweet from the Litecoin Foundation. Litecoin is available in more IRAs right now, institutional retirement solutions than ever. From Fidelity to Bitcoin IRA, there are options out there with one of the longest hold times in crypto. Litecoin is within reach to more and more people every single day. So yeah, these Litecoins even going on IRAs with Fidelity out there. So people are holding on to Litecoin. So that is pretty cool news. But that's our Litecoin news. I always love it. Once if Litecoin pops up, I'm going to be sharing that news with you. So keep getting that. And let me take a look at the chat. Oh, hey, Joe. Welcome to the show today. Thank you for being here. And yeah, so let's see. What else do we have? Let's go talk about the Dogecoin network. What's going on? Looks like they're gearing up against an upcoming attack, maybe? Because, yeah, there was that one attack that happened with the Monero network. And yeah, there was a hack with the Monero network, and like they targeted Dogecoin next. So it looks like they're gearing up for this. But the core Dogecoin community is signaling a coordinated defense posture after a week of escalating chatter that the AI-driven Cubic Collective, which recently targeted Monero, has voted to make Doge its next proof-of-work stress test. Now, from the official Doge account came a pointed nudge. Could this be due to certain parts of the community mobilizing to protect against some possible threats, like something that happened to Monero recently? The post came in response to crypto analyst Chris Pax, who shared on X late Wednesday, breaking Dogecoin hash rate just hit an all-time high. So is the Doge network prepared? Well, the immediate catalyst in Cubic's community poll 2 weeks ago to focus its resources on Doge next, following its Monero campaign, analysis framed the ballot as a direct threat to Doge through Cubic's messaging alternating between attack, rhetoric, and claims it merely intends to mine for profit. Now, former IOTA co-founder and Cubic leader Sergey Ivanchенko, aka Come From Beyond, posted on August 18th via X that it's becoming ridiculous that Cubic community voted on mining Dogecoin, not on attacking it, adding preparation to mining Dogecoin requires months of development. The Cubic pool is mining Monero during this period, but what it uncontested is that Cubic marshaled enough coordinated hash power to rattle Monero and then publicly named Doge as its next proving ground. So in context matters, during the attack, there was an alleged 6-block reorganization on the Monero blockchain, orphaning around 60 blocks. However, it debated whether Cubic's action qualified as a successful 51% attack, but nevertheless, Kraken paused XMR deposits as a precaution when the single pool supposedly crossed 50% of its hash rate. Then it re-enabled deposits under a stringent 720 block confirmation regime, an extraordinary friction cost meant to blunt the risk of chain reorganizations. Now, against the backdrop, Dogecoin's raw compute power surged. Depending on the estimator and sampling window, Doge's script hash rate pushed the fresh records on Wednesday. Now, BitInfo charts tracker showed intraday read at a new all-time high at 2.948 PHs a second. The directional takeaway is clear. Miners are pointing more script ASIC horsepower at Doge right now at any prior time. Now, the structural factors also cut differently for Doge than Monero. Since 2014, Dogecoin has shared security with Litecoin via auxiliary proof-of-work merged mining, meaning that the same script ASIC fleets that secure Litecoin can simultaneously commit to Dogecoin's blocks. Now, that broadened miner based on the industrial scale nature of script ASICs raised the bar for anyone who would be a majority attacker. One reason, a direct 51% campaign on Doge is much harder than on a CPU-oriented chain like Monero, said a random X post. So we'll see if Cubics can do it, but it looks like Dogecoin is wrapping up and getting prepared for it. So we'll see what takes place there. Now let's move on to our final article of the evening, where criminals are vibe hacking with AI at unprecedented levels from Anthropic. So the AI company Anthropic warns its AI chatbot Cloud is being used to perform large-scale cyber attacks with ransoms exceeding $500,000 in some cases. So you gotta be careful with AI. Is this more for personal attacks, or is this attacking businesses right there? Let's find out. So despite a sophisticated guardrail, AI infrastructure company Anthropic said that cyber criminals are still finding ways to misuse its AI chatbot Claude to carry out a large-scale cyber attack. In a threat intelligence report released on Wednesday, members of Anthropic's threat intelligence team, including Alex Moix, Ken Lebedev, and Jacob Klein, shared several cases in which criminals have misused the Claude chatbot, with some attacks demanding more than $500 in ransom. Now, they found that the chatbot was used not only to provide technical advice to the criminals, but also to directly execute hacks on their behalf through vibe hacking, allowing them to perform attacks with only basic knowledge of coding and encryption. Now, vibe hacking is a social engineering using AI to manipulate human emotions, trust, and decision-making. In February, blockchain security firm Chainalysis forecasts crypto scams may have their biggest year in 2025, as generative AI has made it more scalable and affordable for attacks to happen. Now, Anthropic found one hacker who had been vibe hacking with Claude to steal sensitive data from at least 17 organizations, including healthcare, emergency services, government, and religious institutions, with ransom demands ranging from $75,000 to $500,000 in Bitcoin. Now, here is a simulated ransom note that demonstrates how criminals leverage Claude to make their threats. So it's like two company executive team. So it's just giving them the list on what they need to do really to send it to it. There's the banking authentication data, historic transaction records. So that's what it's looking like it's giving them. Now, while Anthropic later banned the attacker, the incident reflects how AI is making it easier for even the most basic level coders to carry out cybercrimes to an unprecedented degree. Now, actors who cannot independently implement basic encryption or understand Syscall mechanics are now successfully creating ransomware with evasion capabilities and implementing anti-analysis techniques. Now, the North Korean IT workers also use Anthropic's Claude. Anthropic also found that North Korean IT workers have been using Claude to forge convincing identities, pass technical coding tests, and even secure remote roles at the US Fortune 500 tech companies. They also use Claude to prepare interview responses for these roles. And a lot of companies are cracking down on this because, there have been they're finding these scammers are infiltrating actual companies taking on positions. So now I believe they put implementations in where they need to have an in-person interview. It can't be remote anymore. So, and they put other precautions in there too now. But no, businesses had to start taking precautions because of this. It's happening more and more. But Claude was also used to conduct the technical work once hired, and Anthropic said that, noting that the employment schemes were designed to funnel profits to North Korean regime despite international sanctions. Now here's a chart of a breakdown of Claude power tasks by North Korean IT workers have used. You got the front-end development, programming, scripting, interview preparation, and back-end. So it shows the percent of activity with their primary activity roles like React Angular development, Python scripting, mocking interview jobs for interviews, and so on. But earlier this month, a North Korean IT worker was counter-hacked, and it was found that the team of 6 shared at least 31 fake identities, obtaining everything from government IDs and phone numbers to purchasing LinkedIn and Upwork accounts to mask their true identities and land crypto jobs. Now, one of the workers supposedly interviewed for a full-stack engineer position at Polygon Labs, while other evidence showed a scripted interview response in which they claimed to have experience at NFT marketplaces like OpenSea and blockchain oracle provider Chainlink. Now, Anthropic said its new report is aimed at publicly discussing incidents of the misuse to assist the broader AI safety and security community and to strengthen the wider industry's defense against AI abusers. It said that despite implementing sophisticated safety and security measures to prevent the misuse of Claude, malicious actors have continued to find ways around them. So there malicious actors and bad actors, scammers out there, they're always going to be finding new ways to utilize that's going to help them like pull off a scam. So like scammers are just never going to go away. They've been here to the test of time. So nothing new has changed, just the technology. And so we just got to be up to date on what these hacks look like, how do we prevent them, and how do we do that? What is a safe internet hygiene? Be sure you know what you're clicking on, know what you're sending when you're doing a transaction. When you're getting emails out there, look at the actual sender, like see who it's actually from. It's like, because Coinbase isn't going to be contacting you, your crypto wallets aren't going to be contacting you. So it's like, look at the actual user who it is and go, okay. So just like safe internet practices out there, use two-factor authentication on everything that is available to use it for. And that's just little tips out there just to keep you safe in the space. But that is it, though, for the news today. Let's take a look at our Fear and Greed Index. Where are we at today? We are at a 45, so we are still neutral territory. So, again, we're not in the fearful territory, but prices are going up again, so that we're probably getting a greed area soon. But Bitcoin is sitting at $112,752. Ethereum holding at $4,500. XRP is dipping a little bit. It's under $3 at $2.98. Solana's $2.11. And let's see, Chainlink pumped up to the number 11 position. Where is that CRO token? Chronos, yeah, bumping up to 17. So both these tokens have been like pumping and making its moves up along the market cap ranks out there. But guys, thank you everyone for tuning in today. We have another busy day ahead of us here at the Crypto Club. We're about to get ready for our crypto class taking place in 40 minutes right now. So if you're a member of the club, check your emails because I sent out the class reminders with the Zoom link in there. Then we're going over the Bitcoin charts, so rainbow charts, M2 money supply, and Steve Blanco from our Nashville club. Thank you so much. He's going to be handling the class, but I will be there too, chiming in when I can. So everyone, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow with some more crypto news.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.